Finally, changes are on the way as the upper atmospheric winds are starting to transition, and we are now seeing the first advances of a southwest flow of air. That is basically out of a subtropical origin, and we are expecting temperatures to warm up gradually throughout the course of this week, and places like Scotland, the Central Belt, anywhere from Glasgow to Edinburgh, could be expecting highs in the upper teens to low 20s by Thursday or Friday of this upcoming week. Good afternoon. Take two for today's video blog. I did record a video earlier, but I realised that later in the recording the sound disappeared, so hopefully this one will work without any problems. A very good afternoon to you. Like I say, the time now is 6:30 in the evening local time here in Scotland. Mark Vaughan here, and I thank you for joining me today. This is the map of the UN ISYS site, and this is the upper level pattern. As you can see here, that the trough that has dominated Britain for the month of May, and for certainly a good deal of time before that, Arctic winds were blowing down, producing snowfall across the higher elevations of Britain, anywhere from the Highlands of Scotland all the way down across Snowdon in Wales and other points across the United Kingdom, and also snowflakes were observed down at low levels. That will not be the case this coming week, thankfully, as we see the Azores high, which has been suppressed across more southerly latitudes of late, and what we're going to see is the trough, the cold pocket of air that has been dominant over Britain, that will be sliding eastbound, affecting Central European countries. We might even see some snowfall across the Alps, and this will remove the pleasant, abnormally warm conditions across far eastern Europe, places like Romania. Ukraine has been seeing some beautiful summer-like conditions of late. That will be shifted and suppressed back down towards the Middle East, where temperatures are certainly of the desert areas around Iraq, Iran, places like that will be enduring the 100s. And I also seen today from Rajesh Kapadia's site, Vagaries of Weather, that is also our partner blog, where the temperature hit 50 Celsius, that's 122 degrees Fahrenheit in Pakistan. That is the warmest temperature of the year so far. So interesting that the strength of and the intensity of high pressure across India and Pakistan really telling there. So what can we expect here in Britain? This is day 3, like I say. Day 4, you can see an advancement of the high pressure, the push of southwest winds that are blown out of a subtropical origin, and we are nicely warming up by day 4, which is Thursday the 20th of May. And day 5, as you can see, the heights are strengthening. We've got higher ridge lines across southern Britain. We're probably going to see highs around London, top probably the mid-20s. I wouldn't be surprised if we've seen a high in Greater London of 26, 27 Celsius. That's knocking in the door of 80 Fahrenheit. Beautiful conditions, but certainly I believe it's about time. Day 6, Saturday the 22nd of May, and we can see probably, really, folks, I wouldn't be surprised if we've seen a temperature near 30 Celsius, probably 28 Celsius, which is 80 Fahrenheit across London and the south of England. So warming conditions are happening, and we are finally going to see a warmer, drier pattern. Of course, this time of year, stronger sun, stronger heat, and we're going to see probably a more rapid evaporation process of the soils. And my idea is that evaporate the soils, dry out the soils, and that will probably help feed back to the atmosphere, and could support greater, hotter surface temperatures in the midpoint of the summer, June, July and August, hopefully. Okay, what's another interesting thing that I'm wanting to point out today is the tropics. And basically here I'm going to pull up this is the current sea surface temperatures across the Caribbean, Western Atlantic, the Caribbean Sea and into the Gulf of Mexico. Folks, notice this little tongue here that's poking through the Yucatan Straits into the Gulf of Mexico. That is the loop current. That is what was a major factor in the 2005 hurricane season. Of course, super fueled Katrina, Rita and then Wilma. And basically that is evident here. Is bathtub warm water that stretches hundreds of meters down below the surface. It's basically bathtub warm waters, generally anywhere from 27 to 30 Celsius in temperature, and it stretches far greater down into the depths of the Gulf of Mexico, far greater than the surrounding sea surface temperatures, which perhaps drop down between 50 to 100 meters down below the surface, which is obviously what helps hurricanes as they progress into the Gulf of Mexico. If you happen to find a tropical cyclone that pushes into that region, really for super intensification, you really want or don't want the hurricane to ride right up along the loop current. That's what happened in '05 with Katrina. And unfortunately, folks, there really is a lot of signs here, a lot of signs that suggest that the conditions are very similar to 2005. We've got forecast models that are predicting a rapid lowering of sea surface pressure over the tropics, and what that will do is help the upward motion process. That allows air to rise, cool, condense, and develop low pressure centers. That's really where your tropical systems develop from. And these water temperatures, abnormally warm conditions across Eastern Atlantic, right across the tropical breeding grounds and into the Caribbean and Gulf of Mexico. This is an interesting viewpoint here. I think I've got it somewhere. No, I don't have. And basically what it is the NSET model that is predicting basically the lowering of pressures across the tropical breeding grounds of the Atlantic. And what we're seeing, folks, is a wave, a pulse, the NJO pulse, which is actually entering the Atlantic basin this coming week. And that can coincide with net upward motion, and that is not what you want to see as we approach the hurricane season, because that can enhance thunderstorm activity. We're going to see more waves come off Africa, off the African easterly jet, and what we're going to see is some of these thunderstorms, some of these waves that travel the eastbound trade winds. And what we're going to see is we're probably going to see some development, some sort of organisation with some of these clusters of thunderstorms, and it really wouldn't surprise me by the end of this week that we'll start to see low pressure centres, warm core low pressure systems form into tropical storms, and perhaps if they move into the Caribbean Sea, those bathtub warm waters, that we could see a hurricane form within the next few weeks. It's early days, of course, but times are changing. Times are starting to we're entering that time year where we're going to see some tropical storms. That's it for today. I hope that this video is recorded okay, and I hope that you can see it. Thanks for joining us today, and have a great Sunday, folks.